Hey, it's Dr. J. I am back for day 24 of the 30-day productivity challenge. And while Facebook is building my audience, I am going to share this out as I typically do. So hopefully you are joining on this beautiful Christmas Eve. Many of you may be with your families, getting snacks, cuddled up by the fireplace, whatever you do on Christmas Eve. But don't fret. As I always say, you can always catch the replay. So feel free to do that if that's the case, right? If that is what better suits your schedule. And, I'm with family as well, so you will hear some background noise, some folks talking, some refrigerators and microwaves and all that stuff. So I'm putting that out there right now. So if you hear that, just know that it's family. It's family. Family time, Christmas time, as I always say. So if you're just joining, say hello, share some heart love and some thumbs up. And we will get started here very shortly once I save this or share this in some other places, one more spot, and then we will be good to go. So again, if you're just joining, say hello. Let me know you're out there. If not, you'll always have the awesome replay of the 30-day productivity challenge. We're on day 24. So if you're just joining, you are right on time. And if you've missed the past episodes, go back and catch them, because you've got to catch up on what we've been talking about, because it has been awesome, right? If you've been tuning in, you know that for yourself. If you haven't, then I'm just saying, you got to catch up. So we have been talking about 30 productivity principles to increase your peace of mind, right? And for those of you who are just joining me for the first time, I am Dr. Jatun Dorsey, Amazon bestselling author, speaker, life and business coach, professor, and corporate chick, right? So these principles that I'm sharing are tried and true principles that I've used in my own life to achieve the successes that I have, right? And they are pulled directly from my book, Intentional Living, 30 Productivity Principles to Achieve Peace of Mind. And if you know me, you've been following me, you know that this book was released earlier this year. And I did some pre-recorded videos at that time. But this go round, I wanted to do some live videos because I want to engage with you while I'm talking about these topics, simply because it's December. We're wrapping up 2017. We are progressing towards only days away from 2018. So this is only suitable, right, that we start now, if you hadn't already, to get in alignment with your goals, to get prepared for 2018 and not necessarily wait until January 1st to feel like you have to then do your goals, set your goals, act towards your goals, right? Any time is the best time. Right now, matter of fact, is the best time, because you just never know what time you have left and remaining, right? So if you're just joining, again, like I said, say hello, give me heart, love, thumbs up, all that good stuff, so I'll know you're out there. I'll know who is playing in the sandbox with me, and we're here with family, right? So you'll be hearing some conversations in the background, some microwaves going, people still eating and carrying on. So don't get distracted by that, right? So as I mentioned, we are on day 24. Day 24. So if you're just joining for the first time, you have not seen any of my lives leading up to today, you've got a lot of catching up to do. But good thing is, I know you got some vacation for the holiday. So make sure that you are binge watching, right? Binge watching all the previous episodes, the previous lives. So now you can catch the replay. So instead of cuddling up and watching Hallmark, let's go ahead and get some things in line with your goals and your aspirations, right? Let's increase our productivity. What can we do now to move closer to that? So in talking about increasing your productivity, we started off with shifting your mindset, right? We talked about some various principles that you can do and implement in your life right away to shift your mindset, to reframe the way that you're thinking about things, right? Especially if it's a negative thought. So reframing your thoughts, rethinking the way that the way that you've been thinking, right? If it hasn't gotten you where you want to be. And as I always say, everything that you've done up until now is what got you to where you currently are. So if that's the case and you feel like you need to improve in any areas of life, then that's when we need to do some shifting, right? And it starts in your mind, because that is what's going to encourage and influence us to take the action. That next section of my book was called Don't Fail to Plan. And in that section, we talked about the various ways that you can identify your plan, document your plan, and truly get intentional about what it is that you want to achieve in your life. So in that section, we shared some awesome tips and tricks and treats for you to get well on your way to planning exactly what it is that you need to achieve. Then we moved into section 3. Remember, there are a total of 5 sections, but in section 3, we talked about making every minute count. And all in all, what I like to summarize this section is, or how I like to summarize this section is by stating that there are 1,440 minutes in each day, right? With that, we have 1,440 opportunities to impact, right? To impact the world, to impact our goals, to aspire towards our goals. So we have that many opportunities. Everyone has 24 hours in a day. Just like Taylor Swift, Beyonce, and whoever else you aspire or you enjoy their celebrity status and the achievements that they've made, they have 24 hours in a day as well. So how are you going to use your 24 hours? That's what we talked about in that section. And then we are now in the 4th section, which is titled Making It Happen. So this is where the action really takes place. And we've pretty much exhausted all the principles in that section, but now we're in the final principle for this section, which is align your tongues. And that's what we're talking about today, aligning your tongues. What does that mean, right? Well, you have a tongue in your mouth, and you also can have a tongue in your shoe, right? In your tennis shoe. If we think about tennis shoes and how they have those tongues, right? So if you think about those two areas that those tongues are positioned in, you can either talk about it or you can walk about it, right? So when we talk about aligning your tongues, we're truly talking about everything that you speak, everything that you say that you're going to do, everything that you commit to is actually being done, right? So for instance, when we talk about this challenge, this 30-day challenge that I say is not just for me, it's for you, it's for us, right? When I've committed to this 30-day challenge, that means that I have verbalized it, which is one reason why I made sure I put that out there on my Facebook page, because I knew that if I put it out there, I verbalized it, I put it into the atmosphere, that I was going to hold myself accountable for one. And then I know that my followers would do the same. They will be asking me, hey, what's going on? Is the 30-day challenge going on? But because I am so committed to my word, I didn't wait for people to have to reach out to me and ask, hey, what's going on with that? I thought you were going to do, right? So I had to commit to that. So that very thing that I spoke and that I committed to verbally, I am also walking in it. So that's what I'm talking about here when we speak about aligning your tongues. In other words, stop talking about it and just plain be about it. We've heard that often, right? So that is what this topic is about. And there was one particular section that I wanted to read from the book so that you can kind of hear even more this point being driven home. So instead of admitting that it was just talk, we blame everything and everybody under the sun for the goal or the task remaining unaccomplished, right? And I wanted to make that point or pull that section out from this principle, particularly because remember when I mentioned I put that out verbally that I was going to commit to this challenge, right? But if you have folks in your area or in your space, right, or people that you hang with often that do not have any goals, have any aspirations, right? They don't hold you accountable, nor do they support you and your goals. Then you'll have the challenge of not being held accountable by those people that you spend most of your time with. So that's why I want to encourage you so that when you do speak these things out into existence, you have some folks that are in line with you, that are holding you accountable, that are making sure that you are doing exactly what you said that you would do, right? You're living up to the word that you've spoken out into the universe. Remember, when you speak it, you can't bring it back. It's out there, right? So it's very important for us to be committed and stay committed and dedicated to our word and know exactly what it is that we're verbalizing before we verbalize it, right? So you got to think about what it is that you want to communicate before you say it, because those very things that you communicate and commit to are the things that you should be held accountable for, right? And oftentimes we don't realize how that impacts other people around us, right? Just because we say that we're going to do something and we don't do it, when we feel like, oh, we just failed ourselves, you have to keep in mind those people that you're disappointing, right? Those people that were looking forward to receiving whatever that task is that you had committed to completing, but you failed, right? So you don't want to be the reason that someone else is failing or that someone else can't achieve their goals. So you want to make sure that everything that you speak, that you walk in it, right? If you can't meet that deadline, you said you're going to do this certain task at a particular deadline, and you realize, okay, I can still do it. However, I need a little more time. Still communicate that, because otherwise you're still not aligning your tongues, right? So if you've communicated that you commit to doing something and you realize that there may be a delay, there may be some challenges, communicate that to the folks that this will impact, right? So that's why I have committed to this challenge, and I always reiterate that because I said I'm going to do it, I am going to do it. Christmas Eve, we right here, right? I'm right here, regardless of who joins or who doesn't, because the replay will be there. You can always catch that, but regardless of whichever way you catch it, I'm going to bring it. I'm going to bring it just as I committed to doing and as I have stated that I would do, right? So I hope that that is an example for you, and I hope that you will truly take heed of the advice that I'm sharing with you, not only today, but in the previous episodes as well. So with that, before I close out, as I always do, I've got to let you guys know, just in case you're new to it, right? And I always say that if it's your first time, it won't be your last. But if it is your first time, I want you to know how you can connect with me. So you can connect with me on social media at DRJATUN on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And there you see on the screen there my website, drjatun.com. You can email me. You can connect with me on social media. Either way, make sure that you do connect with me so that you can make sure that you get first dibs and the latest information on all the many things that I have going on, because I want you to be a part of it, right? And then make sure you click notifications here on this video so that you'll be notified every time that I go live, so that you don't miss it, right? So that you'll be the first one on, right? And you don't always have to catch the replay. So if you're available, you get that notification, hop on with me, because I love to have the dialogue during the live videos, right? So before I go off, as of course I have to remind you about the Intentional Living Anthology, right? I've been talking about in this 30-day challenge, my book that was released earlier this year, which shares practical tips, right? Tried and true tips. But this anthology is sharing lived experiences, and I have some amazing co-authors who have joined me on this book project, and the book will be released early 2018. So I hope you continue to follow so that you can hear the latest and the greatest, about this lived experience through intentional living. So these co-authors share challenges, barriers that they faced in life, right? But more so, how did they intentionally overcome and or learn how to cope with those or in those situations, right? And many of us are going through things in life where we feel like we're alone, but we really aren't. So these are some stories that you should definitely catch, and we'll be continuing to drop teasers here and there as we lead up to the launch and the pre-orders and all that good stuff. So make sure that you continue to follow me so that you can get the latest on that. And then Date with the Dorseys. If you didn't catch the episode last week, make sure that you do. I always share the link in my videos once I close out the live, so you can always go back to any replay and catch the link there. And check out the podcast with the Date with the Dorseys, which is my husband and I, where we talk about the 5 F's. And if you don't know what the 5 F's are, you got to listen to the podcast to find out what that is, right? And then finally, the survey. You have an opportunity to win, because I know that it takes time out of your busy life, especially around the holidays, to answer these questions. So I want to hear from you. I want to be able to provide you exactly what I need to give to you that will benefit and impact your life for 2018. But I got to hear from you, right? So make sure that you do reach out, that you do complete the survey so that I can hear from you and offer some encouragement implement some transformational tips and tools, programs, and all that good stuff for 2018. Although I have some things in mind, I want to be able to serve you in the way that you best need it, right? So again, this is Dr. Jatun Dorsey. This has been day 24. Happy Christmas Eve, right? Day 24 of the 30-day productivity challenge. And we will continue through the 30th of this month as we progress through my book, Intentional Living, talking about 30 productivity principles to increase your peace of mind. So with that, I'm going to call it a night. And as I always say, there's never a perfect moment. You have to make the moment that you currently have perfect. And that's what we do, right, in order to progress towards our goal effectively and efficiently. So until tomorrow, have a great Christmas Eve, an awesome Christmas morning, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye for now.